Thank you, Jason. Next, I'd like to introduce Sierra Enlow, who is our Democratic candidate for Agriculture Commissioner. Woohoo! Yeah. Sierra is from LaRue County. She lived on a multi-generational farm. She is a proud graduate of UK, and she's also worked in the private sector and has brought billions in economic development money to Kentucky. And I think she is probably the most qualified candidate we've had for Agriculture Commissioner in decades. Here she is.
Thank you everyone for having me out today. Certainly enjoyed the trip down here and the opportunity to go through Western Kentucky and to visit with both farmers markets and young farmers across the state today, as well as being here to talk to you about my background and qualifications for this office and how we need to get a Democrat elected for our Commissioner of Agriculture. Grew up in LaRue County, and I know firsthand what it means to work in a tobacco patch. I started when I was 5 years old, pulling tobacco plants for my family's operation. We raised tobacco all the way through 2002 or 2003 when the tobacco buyout took place. My family's farm now has cattle, but we have done everything from pumpkins, we've had rabbits, we've had goats and sheep and cattle, so we've really run the gamut of Kentucky agriculture and have experiences with a lot of different enterprises across the state. I continued that interest in agriculture by attending the College of Agriculture at UK. Hopefully we have some Cats fans in the house. No, typically this goes over better here than it does in Louisville when I tell everyone I'm a UK graduate. But that work with the College of Agriculture led me to finishing my master's degree in agricultural economics and working in cooperative extension and working with beginning farmers across the country. Not just in Kentucky, but really taking that experience to DC where I worked for the USDA. I did work on the 2012 Farm Bill, working with CRP programming and their economic analysis for that programming. And that's the type of expertise that I want to continue to bring to the Commissioner of Agriculture's office. The Commissioner of Agriculture does everything. I tell people often that the Commissioner of Agriculture is essentially your mom in politics. They take care of all the things that you didn't know needed to be taken care of. And so the Commissioner of Agriculture does everything in Kentucky from providing emergency response for natural disasters with our veterinary services, to checking food safety, to checking amusement park rides, and spending some time focusing on economic development and how we solve problems for rural communities and urban communities. So I think you'll see as this race progresses, we're going to be talking about a lot of issues like food access, because it's also that there are opportunities and there are holes in the food access for not only communities like West Louisville and different parts of major urban markets, but counties like Trimble County that don't have a grocery as well. And those things are the things that we need to be working on and really driving from your Commissioner of Agriculture's office. Another main issue that we're going to spend some time focusing on is how the Commissioner of Agriculture plays a role in economic development and how we can drive the office and help drive success for rural communities across the state. I tell people that the single most successful factor for a family farm is making sure that someone in that family has a good off-the-farm job. And that's where you need, as an ag commissioner, someone to really be advocating for rural manufacturing to come to your community. Good jobs with benefits. Because that's how we keep family farms in the family, is make sure that they pass to the next generation, is that we have great off-the-farm jobs. With that being said, the Commissioner of Agriculture is a race that most voters in Kentucky forget about and don't spend the time to educate themselves and look at this race. So I need you and I need your friends to talk about why the Commissioner of Agriculture race is the most important race outside the governor's race that you're going to go out to vote for in this election cycle. And we can do this, and we have a clear path to victory, but we have to make sure that everyone in Kentucky understands this office is really important, and it's not an office that you may have thought about as being this important to your everyday life, but we can do this, and we can get a Democrat elected as Commissioner of Agriculture along with a Democrat governor to really make sure that our rural communities are growing well into the next generation. Thank you.